Suite counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway. All right, Kellyanne, good evening. I am very disturbed by the Inspector General's report. What's your take on it?
Everyone should be disturbed. And I'm very disappointed that so many people just want to react rather than report. Really dig through all 550 plus pages, Jeanine, because there's so much to unpack here. And people really should not just cherry pick the results of this report depending on their political point of view or conclusions that are in search of evidence. They really should be very disturbed in unison that we have people at the top echelon in the FBI, not the rank and file, good, decent men and women who do their job well every day, at the tippy top of the FBI, really trying to tip the scales. By the way, they lack such political instincts. They didn't see the Donald Trump revolution coming. They, of course, do what Hillary Clinton did a month or so later, which is insult his followers, to call into question their intelligence, their mental fitness, whom they are. And these are cultural elites in the deep state under our nose. People laugh sometimes and flick it away when folks talk about the deep state. It's right there. Read the Inspector General's report. Now, this should be the beginning, not the end, perhaps, of this conversation. Folks can ask I think they can ask Mr. Horowitz for more information. Congress, if they're interested in all learning more, they can certainly continue to pursue this. And perhaps they should, in the interest of transparency and accountability. And Jeanine, let me make very clear, folks, don't kid yourselves. We would know zero. We would know none of this if Hillary Clinton had been elected and not Donald Trump. You wouldn't know what was going on at the tippy-top echelon of the FBI. And who the heck was giving Jim Comey a hero's welcome 2 short months ago for this silly book about leadership and morality of all things?
Yeah.
I don't need a lecture from Jim Comey about loyalty, morality, leadership. It's embarrassing that people killed the fatted calf and rolled out the red carpet for his book tour when yet again we see him putting himself before the process, grandstanding, showboating, but more importantly, subverting the process. He was insubordinate, and he went outside of Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General's responsibilities, I think, to just act on his own.
Well,
and people should be very concerned about all of that.
Let me ask you this. You know, for me, and you're so right, I mean, I've read a lot of these 568 pages. I don't know how much it weighs. But the bottom line, Kellyanne, is that they didn't make a criminal referral. They said 5 FBI agents should be referred for disciplinary action. Everybody is still working. No one is forced to be fired. There is no criminal referral, as they did with McCabe. How do you think the American people are going to react to this?
Well, I hope they'll react because but only if this is given a little bit more oxygen. That's my initial point, that there's not a ton of coverage on this IG report in the mainstream media right now. A little bit here and there. They check the box on it. But we deserve a deeper dive. Jeanine, you can't, with a straight face, credibly say that we've spent actually 2 years. Next month will be 2 years since the Russian investigation started.
Right.
It's just the Mueller investigation's a year old. Okay, for 2 years, they've been investigating something against this president that doesn't exist. And yet, people think that we should go on, spend all this money, go on indefinitely about that. We're here. You actually have some information that should, I think, animate Americans to want to hear more, but it's being ignored largely.
Let me ask you this. Talk about something.
By those, and I think some in the media are very uncomfortable that people in the media were giving tickets to games and meals to FBI agencies. That's very uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. People have gone to jail for that. Politicians have gone to jail for that kind of thing. This is the FBI. But I want to ask you about the Donald Trump tweeting, the president tweeting today, that Democrats can fix their forced family breakup at the border by working with Republicans. I think we've got that tweet, on the screen, for a change. This is why we need more Republicans elected in November. Democrats are good at 3 things: high taxes, high crime, and obstruction. Now, there's going to be a meeting, Kellyanne, on Capitol Hill on Tuesday regarding the whole issue of immigration. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, the president, as he's wont to do, is trying to bring everybody together to come up with some common sense plan, but he could not be more clear about what his vision on immigration is. He wants to have a sovereign nation that has physical borders. He wants to build the wall, obviously, but he also wants catch and release to end. He wants a merit-based immigration system. He wants more ICE agents. You know, the Democrat, I think what the president is trying to say there is that these Democrats refuse to provide the funding necessary so that you can expand the detention centers, that you have more ICE agents, some common sense measures. And they've been standing in the way. And by the way, Donald Trump got here a year and a half ago. The immigration issue, including at the border, has gone on for a very long time, and the two presidents before him tried to deal with it. Also, Operation Streamline under President George W. Bush.
So
President
why does
Obama
President Trump take the blame for what other presidents did? Why is it so different? Why are these concentration camps for kids when they separate a parent from a child?
That's a horrible. That is really a horrible description. And it's insulting. I've talked to some people over this weekend. It's insulting to people who have had families in concentration camps who then perished. But I want to put that very charged rhetoric aside and make the very clear point that this president had, you know, he brought Democrats to the White House. They held forth for an hour, but all the Democrats wanted to talk about was DACA. They just wanted to talk about the Dreamers. They never raised this with him.
Okay. All right. Kellyanne Conway, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
But he'll be there to try to get a good policy in place. We need to fix immigration. It's a complex set of problems, and it will require a complex set of solutions.
Oh,
but
hopefully
this is a great
done.
test, Jeanine.
All
Do the
right.
Democrats want to fix it, or do they want an issue in the fall?
They want an issue in the fall.
Thank you.
And all right, Kellyanne, thanks so much. And here with more on the continuing fall